Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at the worst acts ever committed by The Legend of Zelda's Big Bad. Expect series-wide spoilers ahead.
And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Killed the Great Deku Tree. The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. There are a great many evil deeds done by Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time. His first is also one of the most personal. After the Great Deku Tree refuses to give up the Kokiri's Emerald, Ganondorf curses him. First-time players may think they're saving him by clearing the first dungeon, but as he says, he was doomed before you began. The guardian deity who looked after Link and so many Kokiri imparts some wisdom before turning cold and gray. Before Ganondorf's even properly introduced, Ocarina of Time makes it clear that he's going to be a big deal. And he was only just getting started. Manipulated the Twilight. The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. In Twilight Princess, some sages learned the hard way that there's only one sword that can get rid of Ganondorf. And even after banishing him to the Twilight Realm, he doesn't lie down and accept defeat. Instead, he finds a sap in Zant, a power-hungry member of the Twilight race tired of his lot in life. Ganondorf plays God, manipulating and empowering Zant to overthrow Midna and lead an army into Hyrule. This naturally leads to a whole lot of misfortune for a lot of innocent folk, because not only are the people of Hyrule affected, but the army Ganondorf grants Zant consists of innocent Twilight transformed into monsters, which Link then has to kill. Pretty messed up. Killed his followers. The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. The backstory of A Link to the Past contains what may not be an ultra-evil act, but still quite a dick move. Prior to the events of the game, Ganon finds the hidden entrance to the Sacred Realm, which he enters to steal the Triforce. However, after he enters the realm, he turns to his men and murders all of them. He does this so that none of them will stand against him in claiming the Triforce, which, fair, wars are waged over this thing literally all the time, but still, to kill your own men who helped you get to the Sacred Realm in the first place is pretty cold. Kidnapped children. The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. When Ganondorf returns to the world in Wind Waker, he gets right to trying to find Princess Zelda. And he does this by kidnapping every little girl across the Great Sea he can get his hands on. It's pretty low to steal children from their homes, but he doesn't even have the decency to do it himself. Instead, he just sends his giant pet bird to do it for him, which has got to be the more terrifying option. And does he let the girls go once he learns they aren't Zelda? Of course not. He just tosses them in a cage, because who cares? Murdered Queen Sonia. The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh my. I'm surprised to hear you say such a thing.
Although we would have liked to see a bit more of him, Ganondorf gets some fantastically vile scenes in Tears of the Kingdom. This includes murdering Queen Sonia in cold blood. Though we didn't get much time with her either, Sonia was a warm and caring character, and she meant a lot to Zelda, who witnessed her death. Of course, it's never just a one-off murder with this guy. He also steals Queen Sonia's secret stone, transforms into a demon king, and spreads death across the land. All this after he agrees to peace terms with Rauru. But since the only thing standing between him and ungodly power was one whittle old murder, we can't say we were surprised it happened.
No survivors!
Killed Link. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Well, Ocarina of Time, sort of. It was long thought by many fans that the end of Ocarina split the timeline in two, one in which Link relives his childhood, and the other, the future he leaves behind. But then Nintendo put out the official timeline and said, no, actually, there's a third in which Ganon kills Link. Seeing as how this is the only canonical instance in which the villain kills the hero, it's kind of a big deal. Plus, it then leads to a whole lot of other horrible things in the Fallen timeline, concluding with Zelda 2, in which Hyrule is looking a bit worse for wear. Used his people, Various.
It was written that Calamity Ganon once adopted the form of a Gerudo.
In addition to murdering his followers in A Link to the Past, Ganondorf has never been shown to be that caring of a leader. You'd think he'd be more grateful considering he was automatically made royalty for being the only male born among the Gerudo, but no. He uses them to pursue his own goals in Ocarina of Time, even having Twin Rova brainwash and enslave poor Nabooru when she doesn't fall in line. He's been shown to use them like pawns in the most recent games as well, because even in times of strife, what regular citizen would wish for the world to actually get destroyed? His connection to the Gerudo is something many of them tend to resent.
It will be up to Link to keep Ganon occupied until the moment we unleash our strike.
Caused a flood. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. The prologue of Wind Waker tells us how this world came to be. After the hero of time left Hyrule, Ganondorf returned, and when the hero didn't reappear, the people prayed to the gods, who answered with a flood rather than see Ganondorf destroy everything and everyone. While yes, the act is done by the gods, it's because that's how dangerous he was. This not only displaces all people, forcing their descendants to live scattered across a vast ocean, but it forces certain races to evolve into new ones. That's not to mention all the people that must have died during his return and the subsequent flood. Stole the Triforce of Power. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. After being refused access to the spiritual stones in Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf gets tired of asking people for things. He waits for Link to pull the Master Sword from its pedestal, sneaking into the Sacred Realm to steal the Triforce. Thankfully, he only gets one, but the Triforce of Power is all he needs to absolutely wreck the entire world. While Link is in stasis for 7 years, Ganondorf brings calamity and chaos to all corners of Hyrule, freezing Zoras, capturing Gorons to feed to a dragon, and demolishing the once thriving market square. He also grew a mullet in that time, which, while not evil, isn't a great look, buddy. Took control of the Guardians and Divine Beasts. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago.
While the many returns and revivals of Ganon have brought death and destruction, it isn't often we really feel the effects. But with the Calamity, we definitely do. As you piece together Link's memories in Breath of the Wild, you learn that a prophecy foretold the villain's return. The people prepared, unearthing ancient tech in the Guardians and Divine Beasts. However, when Ganon did strike, he took control of the Guardians, having them slaughter the people they were meant to protect. He also took the divine beasts, killing the champions whose loss is still felt by their communities a century later. Hyrule was also left in a desolate state, where giant, bloodthirsty machines roamed freely.
The appointed knight, gravely collapsed while defending the princess.
What do you think is the worst thing Ganon has done? Share your thoughts in the comments, and be sure to subscribe for more great gaming videos every day.
Rauru placed his faith in you. And that was all you could do.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.